Hey guys, James here. With the recent news of Spider-Man potentially being kicked out of the MCU and moved to everyone's favourite company, Sony, I thought it'd be a great time to talk about Sam Raimi's original film and see if it's either really good and still holds up, or isn't as good as we remember and just a bunch of cheesy one-liners and Green Goblin memes.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
But despite all that, one thing is for certain, and that's Danny Elfman knows how to write an epic score. We interrupt this review to tell you not only am I sick, but also I've set up a Patreon page, and if you don't know what Patreon is, basically it's a place where you can support me by pledging a certain amount of money each month, and in return I put your name in the credits of my videos. I know, it's very cool. If you do want to find out more, a link will be down in the description, but for now, enjoy the review. When this film came out in 2002, it was a big hit. It made loads at the box office, critics loved it, it spawned 2 sequels, the last one we won't talk about, and it was the first great Marvel film. Now, with the amount of Marvel films out nowadays, I feel like people don't talk about Sam Raimi's trilogy that much, which is a shame because I watched this recently and I don't think my opinion's changed on it. It's still really good. Yes, the effects may look like the shitty graphics of the 2002 video game.
Back off, ugly. Oh, you messed with the wrong guy.
And the whole film's kinda dumb and stupid, but it's Spider-Man, you know? What did you expect? He's going up against a villain called Green Goblin. And I'm glad they didn't take it seriously, because that's where the Amazing Spider-Man films went wrong and ended up being dull and boring and lacked any of the creativity that Raimi put into this one.
You want to, I don't know.
Want what?
I don't know. Just, I don't know, we could,
Just to prove how creative and awesome this original film is, let's compare the spider bite scene in this movie and The Amazing Spider-Man and see what the difference is. Obviously, this scene is how Peter gets his powers, so it's one of the most dramatic and important scenes in the movie. First up, we've got the original. This scene is brilliant. You've got an excellent build-up with the scientists telling them about the 15 super spiders, and then Mary Jane says there's one missing, so straight away you're thinking, oh shit, where is this missing spider? And then after that, Peter is taking pictures of MJ for the school paper, and meanwhile, you've got these really cool shots of the spider approaching Peter, building up the tension. Like, what the hell is this thing? And then the spider bites his hand, and there's a close-up of it with this epic sound effect. Also, Danny Elfman's amazing score in the background.
Thanks.
So yeah, I would say that scene's very well shot and built up a lot of tension. Let's see what the Amazing Spider-Man did to improve on this or do differently. So there's Peter Parker. He's sneaking around the lab like an absolute savage. He enters the room with the spiders in, and we're thinking, is he supposed to be here? And then bam, he gets swarmed by spiders. You can't even tell they're spiders because of the lighting. I don't know about you, but that was very intense. He goes out to speak to Gwen and gets bitten by a spider. It's literally 2 seconds. The only thing that I can give credit is the score. It's decent. James Horner did a good job, but what are those Inception sounds? And the creativity in the original doesn't stop there, because Sam Raimi has this really awesome cartoony style that fits perfectly with the tone of the movie. He uses cool transitions. The scene where Spider-Man is deciding on his costume is very over the top and a little bit cheesy, but you know, it works, and you can tell they really cared about making not just an entertaining film story-wise, but an entertaining film visually. We all know the story of Spider-Man. We've seen it 3 times now. Well, maybe not Spider-Verse, because that is a completely original storyline. And while the plot of Spider-Man is very simple and basically follows the same formula as a lot of other superhero movies, it is done very well, and with help from Sam Raimi's brilliant direction, the great cast and the writing, they managed to create an excellent first film in the series that's actually, you know, quite emotional. That Uncle Ben death scene, it gets me every time.
Uncle Ben?
Peter.
Over here, Uncle Ben. Call an ambulance! Someone call an ambulance, Uncle Ben! Uncle Ben!
Peter Parker is a big nerd who basically has no friends and gets bullied a lot until one day he gets bitten by a radioactive spider and turned into Spider-Man. He gets his powers, Uncle Ben thinks he's going a bit weird, so he gives him the "with great power comes great responsibility" talk.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
And then out of nowhere, Uncle Ben dies. So sad. And then Peter has to step up to the plate and turn into everyone's favourite hero, Spider-Man, take down the Green Power Ranger, and hopefully win the heart of the girl next door, Mary Jane. The most annoying character in the world, by the way, because somehow she doesn't recognise it's Peter, even though she's known him his whole life.
Wait! Who are you?
You know who I am.
I do?
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Now, Tobey Maguire plays Spider-Man in this film, and there's a large debate on who's the best Spider-Man, and to be honest, they're all good in their own way. Tobey's great because even though he's a massive nerd, he's still really likable and has the best character arc. Andrew's great because, actually, I have no idea. And Tom's great because he's probably the funniest of the lot and a great all-rounder at playing Peter Parker and Spider-Man. But for me, I think Tobey Maguire was an excellent choice, and his portrayal of the character was for the most part really good. Sometimes his one-liners are too cringe to handle, but I suppose that's all part of the charm and fun of the movie.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? How was the field trip?
I don't feel well. I'm gonna go to sleep.
You won't have a bite?
No thanks. Had a bite.
As well as being Spider-Man, there's also the romance side to Peter with Mary Jane Watson, who I don't like at all. Like, Kirsten Dunst is a good actor, but in this film, she just feels like a plot device so Peter has someone to save, or a reason to be sad when MJ starts going out with Peter's best friend, which wasn't believable. Compared to The Amazing Spider-Man though, the romance in this is much better, and you can tell her and Peter have been friends for a long time. Also, we have Willem Dafoe, who plays the villain of this film, the Green Power Ranger. And I'll continue calling him that because that's what he looks like. Besides Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe is the best actor in this, and he is just so over the top and hilarious as the Green Power Ranger. Like, the mirror scene is just the best thing ever.
I don't understand.
Did you think it was coincidence? So many good things all happening for you. All for you.
Even though his performance is a little crazy and ridiculous, I love it. It works brilliantly with the rest of the film and gives Peter a cool villain to go up against. His motivation is believable and you understand why he's doing what he's doing. As for the rest of the cast, they're all pretty good. Uncle Ben is excellent and has one of the best scenes in the film with the great power comes great responsibility speech. Aunt May isn't as good, but at least she's not annoying like the one in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Also, J.K. Simmons is really funny as J. Jonah Jameson, and it's a shame he's not in some of the other movies. The only character I didn't like was James Franco as Harry. He's kinda bad in this, and I didn't understand why he gets with MJ even though he knows Peter likes her. I mean, it's kind of a dick move. That being said, for one of his first roles, it's not that bad. I didn't realise how violent this is for a kids movie, but trust me, that final fight is brutal. Tobey Maguire gets torn to pieces, and it's great because it actually puts some stakes in the film and shows us that Spider-Man isn't invincible, he's just a regular guy. It also means that you get an epic fight which finishes with the Green Power Ranger getting impaled with his own hoverboard. Earlier in the film, there's also an action scene where people on a bridge help Spider-Man stop the Green Power Ranger from killing Mary Jane, which was really cheesy, but it was a subtle way of showing that the city is on Spider-Man's side. There is one scene with the Green Power Ranger that doesn't make sense though, and that is the burning building scene where Spider-Man goes in to save a kid from dying and the Green Power Ranger surprises him out of nowhere, which makes no sense whatsoever. Like, how did he know he was going to be in there? Like, do you just wait for ages, or did he burn other buildings down? I guess we'll never know. Even though it has its faults, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man is still one of my favourite Marvel films, and it's a perfect example of a simple story done well. In the end, Mary Jane gets friend-zoned, which she deserved, but you know, they get together at the end of the second one, so I guess it all worked out. Plus, you do get that epic moment where Toby swings around the city, so you can't complain. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want me to cover more Spider-Man films, then you're gonna have to wait because I've got other shit planned. Also, if you're interested in checking out my Patreon page, again, the link is down below. Anyway, more videos coming soon, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.